Hello everyone, how are you guys? I hope you are always healthy and fine. In this episode of Whiteout Survival, we will briefly discuss the state versus state event from day 1 to day 5, and at the same time I want to tell you about tips that I made myself on how to efficiently find out and complete every task available as a free player in Whale. Without further ado, let's start the discussion. Actually, State of Power or State versus State is an event that lasts for 9 days, where the first and second days are the sign-up and matchmaking phase, the 3rd to 7th days are the task completion phase, and the 8th day is the battle phase, Castle Battle, and the day 9th is the Field Triage phase, Recovery of Troops. As I said at the beginning, in this episode we will focus on days 3 to 7, or you could say the first day the task starts until the 5th day, where the first day's task is City Construction. The second day's task is Basic Skills Up. The third day's task is Beast Slay. The fourth day's task is Hero Development. The 5th day's task is Power Boost. I will not discuss the days one by one, but I want us to focus on the overall task, which we will do during these 5 days. After summarizing it, I can conclude that during these 5 days, we will be asked to complete 10 different types of tasks, and some of these tasks are repetitive. Therefore, let's discuss these 10 types of tasks in detail one by one. We start from the first, namely, upgrading Chief Gear or Chief Charm. Upgrading Chief Gear and Chief Charms is one of the most difficult tasks for most players to complete during the event. Because to upgrade Chief Gear or Chief Charms, players must have at least Furnace level 22 and 25. And please note, this task is the task that appears most frequently in State versus State events. You can find this task from the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th days. Because this task appears frequently, players automatically need large amounts of upgrade materials to get the highest score on the leaderboard. So you could say, for free players, the level of difficulty to complete this task is medium to hard. This is because it is very difficult to collect large amounts of Chief Gear and Chief Charms upgrade materials. However, because of the level of difficulty, this task is one that generates a lot of points in the State versus State event. And the second task is to use Fire Crystals, Refined Fire Crystals, and Crystal Shards. This task is considered a fairly difficult task, especially for players who have not yet reached Furnace level 30, because they have not yet opened access to Fire Crystal technology. The points awarded by using Fire Crystals are said to be one of the most, and you can find this task on the 1st, 2nd, and 5th days. And because you can get Fire Crystals from completing daily missions, Crystal Laboratory, completing intel missions, Mia's Fortune Hut, and the Flame and Fangs event, you could say that the difficulty level for completing this task is easy to medium for free players. However, the level of difficulty in completing the Fire Crystal task is in line with the number of points awarded, so I recommend that you complete this task as much as possible. The third task is Lucky Wheel. You can find this task twice, namely on the 2nd and 3rd days. The level of difficulty in completing this task for free players is medium to hard. This is because players need at least 150k gems to get maximum spin rewards. To collect 150k gems, players must at least be active in events that provide lots of gems, such as the Armament Competition, Fishing Tournament, Mia's Fortune Hut, Alliance Mobilization, Officer Project, and many more. This means that player activity will greatly influence the income of gems in the game. It took me 1 month to collect more than 150k gems. Even though the difficulty level of this task is medium to hard, it is proportional to the number of points awarded. So I highly recommend that you maximize your efforts in completing this task. The fourth task is upgrading Hero Gear and Exclusive Gear. You can find this task twice, namely on the 4th and 5th days. The number of points awarded by completing this task is quite large, and is one of the tasks that I recommend for you to focus on and complete. To upgrade Hero Gear, you will need Essence Stones. You can get this by actively playing Bear Hunt, Hero's Mission, Alliance Mobilization, Armament Competition, Officer's Project, Mia's Fortune Hut, and many more. Meanwhile, to complete the Exclusive Gear task, you will need a Hero Widget, which you can get through the Hall of Heroes event, Tundra Trading Station, and Shop menu. However, for free players, completing this mission is considered an easy to hard job. It is easy to complete the Hero Gear upgrade, but it is difficult to upgrade Exclusive Gear because most of the ways to get Hero Widget chests are by purchasing them. The 5th task is upgrading Hero Tier. You can find this task on the 2nd and 3rd days. The number of points awarded by completing this task is moderate. For new players, perhaps completing this task is relatively easy, because at the start of the game players will get lots of hero shards ranging from rare, epic to mythic. So it will be easy for new players to maximize the points they get by using hero shards in this event. However, for players who have been playing for longer, they may run out of upgradable hero options other than mythic. So the only option for old players is to get mythic hero shards from the lucky wheel and use those shards to get more points. In short, the difficulty level of this task is easy to medium, said to be easy for new players or whales, and medium for free players who can only upgrade mythic heroes, because usually they have run out of upgradable hero options. The sixth task is Defeat Beasts. You can find this task once, namely on the third day, and the points awarded by completing this task are moderate. This task is said to be the easiest task to complete, even for free players. So my advice is to focus your efforts on completing this task, so that you can collect maximum points on the third day's event, namely Beast Slay. The seventh task is to train or promote troops. You can find this task once, namely on the fourth day. This task generates a varying number of points, ranging from low to moderate, depending on the level of troops and the number of troops that can be trained at one time. Completing this task is very easy, even for free players. So, my advice is that on the fourth day of the event, you just try as hard as possible to train or promote your troops so that you can maximize the points you get. The eighth task is upgrading pets. You can find this task twice, namely on the third and fifth days. This task gives not so many points compared to other tasks. This pet's upgrade task consists of pets advancement and refining pets. For free players, the difficulty level for completing this task is easy to medium. In short, I don't recommend free players to make this task a priority task to complete, unless you have advanced wild marks. However, because this task is a task that is quite easy to complete, players can try to complete this task as best they can. The ninth task is use speed-up items. You can find this task 3 times, namely on the first, second, and fifth days. The points awarded by completing this task are quite low, and it is a task that is quite easy to complete, even for free players. In my opinion, this task should not be a priority to be done, because the points given are very low. And the 10th and final task is gathering resources. You can find this task once, namely on the second day. This is the easiest task to do and be completed by all players. However, the points offered are also very low. So if you are a player who wants to chase points, then this task is not a priority mission to complete intensively. And after you know the 10 tasks available at the State of Power event, next I want to give you short tips. The first is to manage your resources as wisely as possible. Tasks such as upgrading chief gear and charms, fire crystals, speed-up items, lucky wheel, hero shards, hero gear, and others are repetitive tasks. You can find them 2 to 4 times during the 5-day event. So, managing resources such as upgrade materials and speed-up items wisely is something you have to do, so that you can ensure that your score remains at the rank you are targeting. The second tip is to prioritize completing tasks that generate the most points. This is a strategy for those of you who want to chase rank on the leaderboard. As I discussed previously, there are several tasks that give more points than other tasks. Among them are upgrade chief gear and charms, use fire crystals, lucky wheel, upgrade hero gear and exclusive gear, defeat beasts, and use hero shards. So during the 5 days of the event, I suggest that you complete the tasks I mentioned, so that your chances of getting to the top of the leaderboard are greater. The third tip, be diligent in completing small tasks. Indeed, I have said before that I do not recommend that you complete tasks with small points, such as gathering resources, upgrading pets, and using speed-up items. However, you can still do these tasks to collect additional points, because as the saying goes, do small things over time and it becomes a hill. And the fourth tip, maximize your efforts on the day you are most likely to win. In general, the first day, or city construction, is the day when whale players have the greatest chance of winning. The second day, namely basic skills up, here free players have a 50% chance of winning and entering the leaderboard. Day 3, or Beast Slay, is a place where free players have an 80% chance of winning against whales. Day 4, or Hero Development. Here free players only have a 50% chance of winning against whales. And on the 5th day, namely Power Boost, here free players have almost no chance of winning against whales. So in summary, free players have the opportunity to win on the 3rd day, namely Beast Slay. So if those of you watching this are in the free player category, then try as hard as possible to get as many points as possible on the third day. So that was a discussion and tips that I can share with you. And if you have questions or other opinions regarding our previous discussion, feel free to submit them in the comments section. And we'll meet again in the next Whiteout survival video. Bye.
Stay with me.